This is yet another random project that I've been working on. It's a simple DIY, temporary light string type thingamajig festoon. They go by a number of different names. But it's pretty much pigtail lamp holders, some zip cord, some black Southwire stuff that I found at Home Cheapo, which is somewhat unusual. Normally you can't find black zip cord very easily. And some electrical tape and this rubber splicing tape material, which is designed for water resistant or for waterproofing electrical connections. I don't know whether or not this is self-amalgamating, but it may be. Just have a little scrap of it to test that. But anyways, the technique to make this thing is pretty much take each end, strip it to about, or separate the connectors about 4 inches, or about a 4-inch split. Strip about an inch of the wire off of the ends, and then fan them out so that it's completely detwisted, because for the things to seat easily you want to do that. Then repeat with the conductors on the pigtail lamp holder, which are trimmed off to about 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 inches, and then again strip about an inch off. By the way, if you're not familiar with these pigtail lamp holders are commonly used for temporary lighting in construction sites and stuff like that, when a wiring's been roughed in and it's being temporarily used for electricity supply, or when fixtures have yet to be installed. It's pretty much about 6 inches of wire on a molded rubber lamp holder, and that's pretty much it. Really simple. Get them for a couple bucks a piece at home improvement stores. But anyways, then the wires are pressed together, and it's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but just seat them like so. Oh, and a safety tip if you're making these, besides using proper wiring techniques, of course, again, this is being mains electricity, risk of electrocution, death, etc. Start from the end opposite the plug. Like if you've got one with a receptacle on one end, start at that end, so that way you don't inadvertently, so that way the plug is the last thing you put on. Just as a bit of a safety tip, so it isn't inadvertently plugged in by you or other people, and you start assembling the thing and you die because you touched exposed mains. Yeah, just a bit of a safety tip there. Come on. And the process to perform the electrical connection on these is just lay each wire into the, or what you do is you get the wires arranged like this. Just pretty much just press them down, or press the zip cord wires into the strands of the wire coming up from the pigtail lamp holder. Come on. Focus on the wire, not the table. Thank you. Just pretty much like that, and then bend them around and twist them like that. And yes, you will get stuck by little copper bits sticking out, but such is the hazard with doing electrical stuff. But at least it's preferable to getting electrocuted and, dying, which is somewhat injurious to the health, but then again. Then both connections get soldered like this, and after this, a little errant wire stubbies that weren't incorporated into the solder joints, those are just trimmed off like that one right there. There's a couple in that joint. Then trim the excess bit of wire from the sticking out the top of the joint. It's just the remains of what was the pigtail lamp holder wiring. And both conductors are given an overwrap of the splicing tape, including one kind of a double wrap around, where you wrap, then loop around back over the solder joints just to shield the wiring. And then this will just get an overwrap of electrical tape like on that one. And there's the thing with its protective electrical tape over wrap. Just wrap from just before the split, or just after the split on one end, all the way over to one end. Finish there, and then just wrap 2 leads coming out of the pigtail lamp holder, and wrap all around the solder joints a couple times, and just wrap over whichever end the electrical tape job looks less clean on. So just for kind of cosmetic reasons. And that's one lamp holder. And repeat for however many are in the string. One additional tidbit. Ratchet strippers make making one of these things much easier, much better than trying to strip it with dikes or something. Just strip wire with the dikes or stuff, or side cutters or whatever you're using. And there's the finished, tested, working product.